You like jazz?
Oh, hello there. Welcome to what is a very late night recording to play my week 3 of the VDL against biratebryan. This is what you get for going in worldwide draft leagues. You know, it's not the end of the world. You know, it's still got some expectations of what time zones to face into, but you know, keeping it strong, keeping it high. Hopefully we can get another W. Just going for a quick overview of the team. You know, we thought we'd change up a bit. Brought Clefable again because it is so utile. I believe that's the word. My head is going to be very, very empty for this match. But it's got, you know, different moves that can really stop all the Pokemon that can be thrown at it. And more often than not, you know, you can have a bit of fun with it. You know, you can make mind games your opponent if it's supportive, if it's offensive. It's a mix of both. Arcanine comes again with its fancy little choice band that it had in week 1. I felt, you know, it did so well in week 1 and it complements some of the things that my opponent has this week, so maybe we could see some good success on that. Sizzle comes back. Sizzle, you know, just felt very strong. It's changed something up a little bit. It's got the expert belt this week. I wanted it to have choice band, but it just felt so good having, you know, the expert belt, you know, where I want to have choice band on Arcanine. I went through so many different items. Life Orb was a bit shaky on it because it was only 4 times weak to fire types, which, you know, made me a bit scared. It's also not the bulkiest, has a lot of bulk, but it's not like bulk that I could consider given its typing. Gastron comes back again with its Rindo Berry. It's a slightly different set than it was last time, so hopefully I can pull off some tricks, you know, throw my opponent off. If I catch some of the Pokemon that I wanted to face into off guard, that was a Mantine originally with a similar tactic, but I just felt, you know, it wasn't really good condoning just a Mantine when I had so many other options to go with. Rotom Mode comes back with an Assault Vest instead of a choice item this time, just because, you know, it felt like going a bit slower and bulkier in this matchup meant I could kind of set the pace a bit differently. And again, my opponent's racing my past couple matches, also seen records of my past couple matches where I've had a fast defensive one, and you know, I can just kind of mess about with that. And then last night's week, Oranguru is making its debut for me this season. It's really just going to be there for support. It has, I think it has Psychic or Psyshock just to put some damage down, but I thought, hey, let's see where this goes and what I can do with it. And we already have communication ending. That was not on mine, because I still have the internet connection. I don't know what Least Protocols is, but we'll just try that again. Maybe my opponent didn't realize how long I was going to take with that. Yeah, so I'll just cut out and then we'll jump straight back in when we actually start the battle after that explanation I just had. Apologies for having that delay with the disconnection. Right, so we are back after a short little break, and as always, my opponent's team is covered up by the webcam I have. I'm trying to find out that little sweet spot to put it in, you know, wherever I can. I don't want it on the other side because then it feels, you know, you'll naturally look at the other side. But that's a problem for later on. But we do see a lot of Pokemon I did prep for have come. Tentacruel is a Pokemon that's a bit iffy for a few of my Pokemon, naturally, because, you know, it has good typings into all of the ones that could come. And its abilities, you know, they're very far and wide between. You can have Liquid Ooze, maybe to stop some healing, or it's, you know, it could have Weakness Policy, Clear Body. I can see 3 technically ways to proc that Weakness Policy, which is something I will have to respect. But for most of this, the Pokemon that I can see, you know, can be really countered by the Pokemon I have here. I did bring a Ranger expecting to Dragapult, because, you know, Dragapult Clefable with Ally Switch was such a good lead. My opponent is locked in quite quickly. I'm going to leave Clefable because that's really good into most of these Pokemon that could come. And I think I might lead Oranguru as well anyway, just because I can have those Ally Switch shenanigans. If we see like Sludge Wave, maybe that could be a bit annoying, but that's something we'll have to respect. Honestly, Scizor is super nice into a lot of these as well if I can catch it on the right time. And Arcanine likes a couple of these. We could bring Gastron because it is fairly nice into most of these actually, given the typings. So Gastron can sit comfortably in front of those. I double tapped there quickly. I hope I put the right Pokemon in. But yeah, Gastron sits really nice in front of everything besides maybe that Leafeon, but we do have a tech for that Leafeon if we can pull it off given damage rolls. So we'll see if it does come out well. This opponent, again, like last week, it's actually really hard to prep for. Last week I did come in very clutch with a couple crits and misses and stuff, but see what goes well. We do have Leafeon plus the Tentacruel, both of which are shiny as well. Tentacruels are like fabulous. Well, I wouldn't say fabulous, it's different. I like the green and the purple a bit more than the red and blue. But getting this Intimidate down quite quickly is quite nice. Clear body, of course, it can't be intimidated, but that's something we overly prepped for. I might go ahead straight away and switch into Sizzle on Clefable just to catch off any maybe attacks that could happen there. You know, absorb it can take some water type attacks, take some poison type attacks. And then I think I'm just going to go straight for that Wild Charge into Tentacruel. It can do a fair bit of damage and can be really obnoxious. If my opponent, you know, doesn't Dynamax turn 1, see what they go for. This could be a Dynamax turn 1 team. I don't know if it's weak to grass, or maybe it's like a... Does it get any... Leafeon could get any like, priority grass type attacks? I think it does, besides maybe Grassy Glide and Terrain. I don't know, but the switch feels quite safe. Clefable just, you know, what keep that safe with Pokemon I did bring it for. It's not really the bulkiest if you don't put too much bulk in it. And yeah, okay, so Helping Hand coming through, it's going to be nice. If we outspeed, it's going to be fantastic. I didn't count for Helping Hand, it's annoying. Sludge Bomb goes straight into that Sizzle. Oh, that was a great call. And Wild Charge should get rid of it if I EV'd it correctly. It does get it out, which is amazing. I can now just switch Arcanine. Arcanine's done its job. It's dropped the attack on Leafeon, which is going to naturally a physical attacker. If there's any more of the water types in the back, but Wild Charge can be really pesky. Crocodile coming is going to drop Intimidate most likely, which is, or no, it's not. So it's either Moxie or the other one, Anger Point, which again I'll have to respect. I think maybe going for a... Because Leafeon can't really touch either of these, so I'm going to go for the Superpower into Crocodile. And then I'm going to bring in my Clefable again, just so I can recycle that Intimidate, just keep it at bay. If we see a Dynamax or Crocodile, that's fine. We can just Dynamax our Clefable later on. It should take a hit. If Arcanine can get a couple more Switcheroonies in. Superpower does a fair bit. I did calculate for Intimidate, so it'll be nice to know that I'm just breaking through that Intimidate. U-turn being stabbed and super effective as well is a consideration, but I just want to kind of cover a few bases. Here we go, so Arcanine gets that nice little switch. Clefable can likely take a hit from a few of these. We could always Dynamax Sizzle down the line to get those defense and attack stats back. Let's see what it goes with. Just see a Dynamax coming out. Likely that Crocodile. Leafeon seems very, very supportive in this composition, which is fine by me. Yes, he can get some Max Quakes off, which, you know, Clefable can maybe take that. Not, you know, going to be very nice for making Clefable go. Could possibly Dynamax and get those hits down, but something to consider. Let's see what comes through. I don't think it gets access to Max Skill Spike. Baby Doll Eyes, that is something I did not expect. Going to Sizzle is going to be annoying, but it does mean we can get that switch in. Max Darkness, that going to left. That's going into Sizzle. So just kind of, again, covering as many best possible. Not a Max Quake, which is nice, which means we can go with the Dynamax mode with Clefable if we really wanted to. So much Superpower does. Still does a nice bit. See if we don't activate any weakness policies. Just keep note. So there is no weakness policy there, so I am just going to go for that switch in to Arcanine, get the Intimidate down, and we're just going to go big with Clefable, I think, and just try and focus down this Crocodile. Clefable is very strong. It's unrecognizably strong, which I love. And with the Intimidate, it's going to be a little bit of pace as well, you know. Arcanine's, I put a lot of special bulk into it just for that matchup into the Tentacruel, so luckily we outsped in that situation. Maybe it was like a, you know, slower one, just maybe with a bit of special bulk in it. White Herb revealed, which, you know, that's a respectable play. You know, I was expecting something like weakness policy or maybe a Salt Vest or maybe a Life Orb or a Choice Band, just to make sure, you know, Crocodile does its thing of it being a supportive Pokemon or a Pokemon with longevity. Hopefully, you know, we can still break through that. I can see another Max Darkness coming off, which won't be the end of the world. If we do see another Max Quake, that'd be a good call, because of course you get this by Death Boost, then you get different things. Yawn coming out, that's fine, because I'm not going to sleep because of the effect of Misty Terrain, which is likely going up. Max Steel Spike, that is fine. There's so much Clef takes from this. It takes it respectively. Annoyingly, but respectively. Because that was a lot of damage compared to what I want to take. But with so much Starfall does, Crocodile isn't the bulkiest. And nice. Okay, so a good little KO there. Absolutely amazing. because that is just another Pokemon gone. Yawn won't go off properly because of the terrain, I believe. I know one of the terrain's actually a bit iffy if it's activated and stuff, but let's see what goes on there. But that is 2 of the Pokemon down, and I don't know what's in the back, but you can probably sort this out really well. Lairon comes through. That's going to be fine to deal with for us. Let's go for a nice close combat into that, and then just go for a Max Flare into Leafeon. That should, you know, do us fondly, to be honest. Of course, Baby Ice is going to be annoying, but we still have Gastron in the back. Oh, Etinos there. But yeah, actually quite comfortable with how this game 1 has gone. I might have to change things up in game 2 just because, you know, my opponent knows like speed tiers and stuff, but that's fine. Maybe even leading with the Sizzle. Let's see what happens. Baby Eyes, yeah, that's respectable. That's probably going to go into Arcline. I believe that'll put it to just below what Choice Band would have been, maybe slightly near. Once Close Combat does, it is 4 times effective. Doesn't get a knockout, but that's fine. We'll get our Max Flare off. The Spadef drop, the Spadef and Physical Defense drop is respectable. See how much this does. It's probably a bulky Leafeon, but it does just drop. But Fable just doing bits here. Doing what it loves to do, you know. Be that little shadowy, like, I could minimize, I could do anything, and it just kind of go, BWAP. Lairon goes for Iron Defense, probably setting up some body presses, maybe expecting, you know, not get to do that damage, or just trying to go for some lucky calls. But I feel quite safe going for another close combat here. Not going to go for any shenanigans like switching, just going to go for this. Double up, get the KO, and call it. Okay, so the battle was cancelled. I will check how that is calculated in the overall win-loss of Pokemon. In fact, I'll DM my op right now because I don't want to, like, you know, I'll ask the I'll get the card. I'll ask the commissioners later because I don't want to, you know, claim a knockout on that and my opponent doesn't technically have their Pokemon knocked out, or my opponent's trying to cheese the situation. I'll have to see how that works out. But yeah. So we'll let the battle begin. So we know it's a slightly supportive Leafeon. So that's fine to go with. I'm going to lead with the Sizzle this time, because Sizzle felt really comfortable to go with. Arcanine could be a good lead as... actually, I'm going to lead with the exact same, because like I feel super comfortable into most things my opponent can bring in that lead. Sizzler in the back is really nice. Gastrodon, like I could go with the same 4 and I feel super comfortable going with that same 4. Like, nothing really hinders that. We'll see how it goes for us. We'll see how it goes for us. Like, both blocked in pretty quickly there. Maybe going for that same sort of, you know, we know what we're doing, go for the same 4. My opponent could change things up. We'll have to see. Maybe my opponent might opt to try and go for Protect plus something, or try and get that Baby Doll Eyes off. But yeah. We have Leafeon and Tentacruel. That's fine. That's fine. We go for that. Maybe we might go for that Dynamax Tentacruel, or maybe just go for that, like I said, that straight Baby Doll Eyes. Did I put Follow Me on Clefable? If I did, that's gonna be great. If I changed, I did have Follow Me, but I'm gonna go for Follow Me, and I'm gonna go for that Wild Charge again. Worst case scenario, Clefable goes down to a Sludge Bomb, but that's fine. The worst case scenario is we die to a Sludge Bomb. Okay, Follow Me goes off. Build Eyes comes out. Hydro Pump. Okay, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Hydro Pump, so much this does. That's nice damage. And Wild Charge. Hopefully that wasn't a roll. It's done taking out a chip. That's gone. Tentacruel gone. That is actually a worry out of my mind. Because Tentacruel has moves like in terms of like damage output for most of my Pokemon. It couldn't really do overly much to I can just go straight for that big rock fall onto Moltres probably. And I'm just gonna go for the double up in Moltres. Like, nothing really puts me off of that. Yes, Baby Doll Eyes, but we're going for that double. Plus with Moltres, like, the threat of this being neutralized means that Scizor can come in a lot safer. So I'm either faster or they're not going big. Like, if they're not, I am catching them off guard with this, which is amazing. Of course, yes, I am putting myself in a situation where I'm Dynamaxing sooner than I wanted to be, but I didn't want to risk the miss. Protect on Moltres, that's grand. We're at least getting the initial Mac Rockfall off. Baby Doll Eyes is good too. Wild Charge through, don't know if we are faster than Moltres, but so much as Rockfall does through Protect. 4 times effective. Clefable has been a powerhouse these past couple of turns. It does a respectable amount. I think I might go for the double up again, just because I don't want to bring Scizor in on that slot. I am choice bound. I might go for the Max Flare into the Leafeon just to kind of neutralize that from doing more things, and go for that Wild Charge into Moltres. You know, Moltres can be very bulky, and I'm just covering a switch out into anything really. Yes, we can see the spamming of Baby Doll Eyes, but oh well. Leaf Blade. Yep, so going for that double up. Air Slash. Oh no, that's annoying. That's super annoying. That's how much the Wild Charge does. Okay, that's good, that's good. I'll bring Scizor in, because Scizor has like good moves to any of these Pokemon coming through. Crocodile, yep, that's grand. I'm gonna for U-turn in Leafeon, and being forced to bring in Gastro right now is annoying, but I think it's something we have to go for, because we get the Intimidate down next. Pardon me. Yep, here he goes big. Again, really annoying that the pace has been set like this. I wish I would have maybe kept my Dynamax going a little longer so we know Clefable can get the knockout. But I believe in my Pokemon. The Helping Hand, that might be a Max Quake or a Max Darkness. Max Darkness, okay. Into Scizor. Oh, that dropped. Yeah, I kudos to my opponent for preserving their Dynamax there. I think they have this now. Yeah, and it's Moxie as well, yeah. So I'm putting it just back to neutral. And the speed tiers aren't looking overly good. Unless the tech can pull through. If the tech can pull through, You should be good. I'm gonna go for the... Do I go for the double up? Oh no, it's got the herb, hasn't it? I'll go for the flare bits into Leafeon. I'll go for the Ice Beam into Krook. This is really one of the best calls we have. Leaf Blade. Oh, but it's fine because I would have taken damage from the other move afterwards. Faster as well. I could have gone for the tech. Oh. Yeah, again, super big kudos to my opponent. Like, I sequenced that turn so badly. I tunnel vision so much. The thing that happened last week as well, which lost me my other 2 games where I just tunnel vision way too much. See how much this does. It does nothing. We get a lucky freeze. No, okay, yeah. Super big respect to my opponent there for just going for that. I really tunnel vision that situation, and I had to kind of call my opponent, maybe go for the helping hand again. I can try for it, but it's revealing information, and which is really annoying. Leaf Blade will probably get it because I've already procced my berry. Yeah, and a double up is gonna get it. Ever so sorry for like my people watching me. Like, I disrespected my opponent's like positions there, and I mistimed everything this first couple of turns. I got too heavy on the I'm gonna take the lead, that my opponent just had that straight advantage. But yeah, I'll have to, it's gonna be something I have to think through for this next turn. Maybe I could pull a big cheese and switch out into the Gastrodon to take the hit from the that could be a thing. I can maybe go for that straight Gastro switch. Or maybe preserve Clefable in the back. I could go for that. I could lead with Arcanine plus Oranguru and get the ally switch off. But will my opponent call that? I'll lead with Oranguru Arcanine. I'll preserve Clefable in the back. Gastrodon isn't really pulling its weight like I wanted it to. Rotom can be annoying for a lot of these Pokemon actually. But Scizor is too nice to have for that possibility of the switching later on. It's a really hard one. Rotom forces the max darkness and is slightly bulkier, and it also means we're bringing one less physical attacker to the field. I think I'll bring Scizor again. It's just something that is too respectful in this matchup for that switch in the poison type moves. Hopefully my opponent gets called off with the ally switch and we can just, preserve Clefable until we need it to go big. Yes, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. Maybe getting rid of the Leafeon turn 1 could be a call too. Leafeon is being a nuisance with helping hands and the... I'm gonna go for that. I'm gonna go for the ally switch, and but then I'm locked into that for the... Leafeon's too big of a threat to ignore. Like, I've learnt that's like the kind of like get support down thing. I can't. It might be a Focus Sash. We'll have to see. It'd be annoying if it is. If my opponent calls this turn 1, like, I have massive respect to them, and see. Typical Protect. That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Yawn goes into Guru. Nice Leafeon gone, which is a nuisance gone. Oh, that's a good one. I didn't bring Gastro though. Did I bring Gastro? Oh no, I was supposed to bring Gastro for the switch. I actually I'm kicking myself over that. I was supposed to bring Gastro so I can have the switch into Arcanine. I'll go for the Psychic into Tentacruel and go for the switch into Scizor and hope I can take a hit. I timed that so poorly, like with the team preview. I tunnel visioned so hard on getting the Scizor in for the super effectiveness, and I was like, Gastrodon's also super effective, and the game plan was get rid of the Leafeon straight away. I was so silly with that. I was so silly and stupid. Dynamax, yeah. I was so far flung on that I was like, didn't think about the defensive plays. This is probably going to be a double up and get a knockout, which is going to be annoying, but oh well, we have got the berry for dark types, which maybe we can take. I didn't calculate Dynamax. See, Sludge Bomb into, okay, that is good. Max Quake as well, just covering every bound. That is going to be a bit annoying for the Clefable later. I have to work through that. So much the Psychic does. Nothing. Oh, that's so annoying. And the Yawn as well was earlier. Oh, I'm so upset with myself for not bringing the Gastrodon. I think I genuinely, due to the pace of this game, I lose now because I'm not bringing Gastrodon. It was so crucial to like everything in this game, and now I've just lost the pace and I can't catch up with it again. I have to hope for the turn 1 like ally switch and then go for the U-turn. Unless I go for like max bug. No, there's no point maxing a Pokemon at that low HP. Wrangler's asleep, yeah. Such poor pacing. If I'd have woken up, got the ice switch, would have been such a good situation. Max Quake likely going into the Scizor, just getting rid of it. Yep. Very big respect to my opponent. Again, the timing on that, the timing of like I'm lost for words just with how annoyed I am myself and thinking too far ahead on the damage flow instead of like what I could do. Arcanine's gonna come in, but it's just gonna. I think we revealed earlier that it was slower than the Crocodile, which is super annoying. And the Moxie means that Moxie and Power Herb means that there will be literally no change to its stats. Arcanine is gonna be my best bet, and we have to hope on Ally Switch calls and then Clefairy versus World later. Of course, Tentacle won't get the job as well. Right, Ally Switch. And then Prey. I paced that so badly. Like my opponent was so hard to prep for, and like in chats and stuff, I was given like so many like accolades to be like, it's not accolades, like so many like warnings, like, hey, this is a really good player, like you got to like prep everything into them, and I put everything I could, and like I'm like last week, I'm falling down to just tunnel visions, and yeah, no protect. Sludge Bomb goes into the Arcanine. Yeah, Max Quake. Yeah, we're now in a position where, like, yes, the Fable can go big, but those Sludge Bombs are scary. What's in the back? Like, if it's Moltres in the back, it's not the end of the world, I guess, if we can get a knockout on Krook. You can't instruct Dynamax moves, so that's gonna be annoying. It's gonna have to come down to yet another ally switch call. Maybe hope for a psychic high roll. I'm gonna go for ally switch just to try and cheese things, and we have to hope for Max Starfall doing enough damage to get a knockout. Oh, I just disrespected the Gastrodon so much. Like, Earth Power was so nice here, and if I could have got it, you know, the fact that I had the game plan of get rid of Leafeon, and I fought too hard of Scizor, which I already knew was very fragile in front of most of these Pokemon. Like, yes, it was a good switch in for the Tentacool if I led with Clefable, but like, at the end of the day, yeah, I didn't lead with Clefable, and that was the kind of vision I fell into. Hopefully, the special defense boosts are enough to be outridden by the sheer power. Rangaroo wakes up, Ally Switch goes off, so if we catch out a Dark type move into that slot, that's going to be great. Let's see, the Sludge Bomb does go into Rangaroo, so Colette takes it fairly well. And the Darkest Lariat goes into Clef, which is really nice for us here. Right, Starfall does it get the knockout. Oh. Okay, the pace has been reset a little bit. My heart is actually pounding. I had to rely on that getting a knockout. Right, Moltres coming in. Now, gotta call Moltres Protect. Different. To double up into Tentacool might be good. I'm gonna hope they call the Ally Switch. I'm gonna try and call it Protect. If I do, that'd be grand. Moltres Protects. Yes, okay, we called it Protect. Doesn't read into the Ally Switch, but that's fine. We can't be poisoned. Okay. Come on. Normally Rector VDC, I hate this move, but for once I'm praying that it pulls off. Moltres isn't known for having the most accurate moves either, as like its good choice to the stab. Also goes for Protect. Fails. Okay, okay, thank you. Apparently I was wishing to stall out. Ally Switch was a big mind game there. Or GG's to my point. I'm sorry for the way I had to win, and I'm sorry that I came back from such a ton of vision play to win that, but you know, you played that so well and forced me into such, I'm sorry for that crit as well. You forced me into such a situation where I had to, you know, rely on this cheese that players often hate relying on. I'm just gonna go on my phone and give them a GG. Yeah. But yeah, it's that was a shocker to come back and win, and damage rolls and just getting the Ally Switch calls was was something that I needed, and the fact that I knocked out that crocodile as well. With the, I didn't think I'd knock out all those special defense boosts, but Clefable just pulling through and getting a knockout. That puts me in 2-2 now. Of course, the past 2 weeks, you know, they were hard ones to get through. One, both in terms of I was really good friends with my opponent, and the other one was, you know, I went into tunnel vision mode again, and that's where I ended up. So just thank you to my opponent. Thank you for tolerating me having to have really awkward time zones as well. But yeah, good luck in the rest of the rounds. Thank you to everyone or anyone who really watched this. I'll put all socials and links of whoever, you know, I need to link appropriately down below. And I will see everyone in the, when I can get my mouse to work, in the next episode of VDL Battles.